to see some comedy? Yes! We are so excited to be here for the Boulder Comedy Festival. This is the 5th year in a row for doing it. By applause, how many of you have been to the Boulder Comedy Festival before? Nice, nice. Loyal fans, loyal fans. By applause, how many have you, is their first time coming to the Boulder Comedy Festival? Yes! Very nice. Where you've been all week? We've been doing shows all week. We're really glad you're here tonight. This is the last night of the festival. So, yay! Woo! Let's give it up for the Boulder Dairy for hosting us. Yeah. Such a great venue. So thank you so much for hosting us here. Little bit about me. My name's Andrea. I host a show called Moms Unhinged. Yeah, thanks. You've been to it. That's awesome. I am a mother, obviously. I have 2 college-age boys. And I realized something that is coming in handy. I am bringing back Lamaze breathing. It's May and you don't have a summer job? Oh, you're graduating next semester and you don't know where the career center is? I am giving birth to adults. They are all legs and they are breech. Some other fun news about me is not too long ago, you guys, I won a national athletic competition. I know. Me and 3 other amazing badass women who are here tonight somewhere won our age division down at the Camp Gladiator National Finals. I know, I have never won anything in my life. It took me till my 50s for everyone to get slow enough. But one thing I realized, at this stage of our lives, we do not get enough medals. And we deserve them. We deserve them. Kids get them for everything and nothing. An hour of laying in the grass at soccer, trophy. I want a medal for meal prep. It's so hard these days. You know, when I was a kid, lunch was a slice of bologna with a side of Cheetos followed by a ding-dong. In Boulder, that lunch will get you arrested. I want a trophy for grocery shopping. Yes! It's so hard these days. You have to worry about how the food was planted and harvested, and did this chicken have the opportunity for joy? Oh my gosh. And you know, parenting is different these days. You have to know where your kids are all the time. My mom didn't know where we were. She didn't even know my sister was on the softball team for 2 years. I overheard a woman telling her kids, "Remember, kids, if mommy can't see you, you're not safe." I know! What kind of anxiety is that going to produce during hide and go seek? You know, I really realize that I envy the sea turtles. They just put their kids on the beach, head back out to sea to live their lives. Good luck, kids. I'll be in Aruba. I did find I was getting a little bit too involved in the college selection process. You know, this isn't mom's second chance at life. But long story short, in the fall, I'll be going to USC. And I'll be choosing the right major this time. And the right husband. Oh, I recently spent a week with my 85-year-old mom. Yeah, that's the right response right there. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard seeing your parents getting older and more frail. And she's she's having bladder problems. She's getting dementia, and I am just worried it's going to happen to me. I am looking at my future dead in the face. I have 30 years of push-ups and Kegels to try and prevent this. I am doing Kegels as we speak. No, you guys, actually, I don't know how to do Kegels. I am just clenching my butt right now. I am going to have a really strong butthole. Probably not what you want. Not what you want. No, but the people at the assisted living facility have a really morbid sense of humor. One woman got off the elevator and she said, "See you tomorrow." The other woman said, "Maybe." Gosh. Oh. And my mom, we actually just moved my mom into memory care. And, she's got this Lewy bodies dementia, which is a type of dementia where you see things, you see visions and things like that. And you can't really contradict people with dementia. So, she was telling me, I was like, "How's it going, Mom?" She's like, "Well, last week they made me carry a dead body down the stairs." I was like, "Wow, sounds heavy." Hope you lifted with your knees. Oh man. I am 55. 55. Yeah, thanks you guys. Thanks to you guys, midlife, optimistically speaking. Carry the one. People used to tell me, they're like, "Oh, your 50s are great." And I was like, that sounds like a load of crap. But it's true. It's true. You can finally give up. We're always striving to be better, like lose more weight, be more efficient, 10 steps to the world's best eyebrows. I want someone to tell me, "Yeah, you are done. You have no more potential." And everything is sagging now, and you've heard about the boobs and the bingo wings. But did you know that your labia also starts sagging? That's why older women can't wear short shorts. Just have to tuck that sucker in. And I realize I really hate the beauty industry. It's just designed to make us feel bad about our faces. Yeah, and there's no beauty industry for men. What if I want my man's face to look dewy? The other day, I saw a commercial for a cream that would make your neck look younger. And I almost bought it. But then I got mad that they were making me feel bad about my neck. Literally the only body part I wasn't worried about. And everyone's telling you to lower your cortisol these days, like lower your cortisol, lower your cortisol. It's like the same way you would tell someone to calm down. I'm like, have you seen the world these days? Maybe you should calm up. I think you look like you have pretty low cortisol to me for what's going on, sociopath. So I'm divorced. I got a Zoom divorce, you guys. I got divorced in 2020. I had a Zoom divorce. It was actually surprisingly pleasant. I recorded it. Play it next to my wedding video. And, you know, I just think it's hard. Relationships are hard these days. It's just, you know, a marriage or any relationship, it's just, you're with someone a long time, and it's the little things that seem to add up. Like, sometimes in the morning, my husband would make just his half of the bed. It used to irritate me a little bit. But rather than say anything, I preferred to take the passive-aggressive approach, and I made my half of the dinner. You guys are awesome! All right, you guys, are you ready for your next comedian? Yes! Your next comedian is amazing. He comes from LA, soon to be your friend, Chip Nicholson.
Give it up for your host, man. This is great. She got my name right and everything, Chip Nicholson. Very simple name, right? Very hard to mess up, but the other day I was doing the show. This host pulled the impossible, messed my name all up. He was nervous. He was like, coming to the stage, your next comedian, make it loud for, Chick Nippleson. What? He guessed who? Like Chick Nippleson? That should be my drag name, you know what I'm saying? Like, just put a wig on, come out with backup dancers. Like, it's Chick Nippleson, baby, and the areolas. Like, what the fuck? I just got this hair. I'm getting used to it. It's crazy, man. I ain't never had hair before. I swear to God. As a kid, I had a single parent black mom, so she just shaved me bald. That was the easiest thing to take care of, you know? I'm getting made fun of all the time. Peanut head, all this, so you little old man, all this stuff, right? This is the first time I had hair, and like, when I was a kid, I used to be jealous of white people's hair. I swear to God, because I would see all y'all outside, and y'all would be like, oh, you know? Just be doing that all day. Just like, what is that? It wasn't until I got hair. I'm learning a lot. It wasn't until I got hair that I realized. One day I was just like, because I thought y'all were just being pompous and pretty and shit. And then one day my hair got into my eye, and I was like, oh, ow. And then I was like, oh, shit. They're not being pompous and pretty. They're in pain. They're not like, oh, they're like, oh. Like, learning so much about y'all, man. I was wearing the mask. I was wearing a white mask because I don't like to raw dog the airport anymore. So I was wearing a white mask, and I was outside, sun bright as hell, just blinding me, reflecting off the mask. And then I had an epiphany. I was like, oh shit, that's why white people be falling off of mountains and shit. Because they can't see. They just out in the world reflecting themselves to death. Oh, that's so sad. Damn, like, it's so you burn, you get blinded. It's so sad how allergic y'all are to the sun. Like, I can learn to swim, but damn, y'all, like. I don't believe in black ghosts. Anybody else? Black people ghosts? Sir, you believe in black ghosts? Oh, that was a good answer. She helped you out. That was fast as hell. That was a good answer. For anyone that didn't know, he had an assist. He went, huh, and she said, no, and she went, no. It was a good assist. I'm with y'all. I had never seen or heard of a haunting. And then I realized, you know why you can't see a black ghost? Because black ghosts ain't got shit to haunt. Think about that. Every decade they come back better than when they left. They come back impressed, just, ooh. I said that joke one time in Alabama. You know why you can't see a black ghost? White lady stands up, because they're too dark, you can't see them. I'm like, God damn it. No, you racist bitch. Like, what the fuck she think? We die and become shadows and shit? Like you can see a black ghost. We ashy. No, I'm kidding. I'm just... Black ghost, man. I say wild shit. And I'm a comedian, and comedians, we say wild shit all the time, but we get canceled and shit, man. And I got all these tweets I want to put out, but I'm a pussy. So this next part of my set is going to be called Tweets I'm Too Afraid to Tweet. Is that all right? Can I do that? Yeah? All right, cool. All right, tweets I'm too afraid to tweet. I only do cocaine for the boogers. Okay. Well, see, now I know who do cocaine. That's what's up, okay. Yo, meet me after the show. That's what's up. Tweets I'm too afraid to tweet. My dick's 12 inches long. My girl's on a foot fetish. You see what I did there? Lied. I don't got a girl. Tweets I'm too afraid to tweet. Strong woman's pussy tastes like determination. Bon appetit. Okay, what? Strong women like that tweet. Yeah, okay. And then this is the last tweet I'm too afraid to tweet. Tweets I'm too afraid to tweet. Gay bears can't prevent forest fires. They're flaming. Okay. And you know what? You guys have been so good. This ain't even a tweet I'm too afraid to tweet. This is just a joke I wrote for a kid's popsicle stick because I wanted a challenge, right? So this is for the kids. This is my impersonation of a depressed lump of coal reading a self-help book, okay? Again, depressed lump of coal reading a self-help book. All right, for the kids. Let me get into character. Shine bright like a diamond. Too much pressure. Thank you. It's a science joke for the kids. Sex is weird. Everybody wants to do it. Ain't nobody know how to do it. You know what I mean? Sex is like it takes teamwork, right? It's just like a teeter-totter, you know, like a seesaw, right? Like it's better when both actually try. You ever been on a seesaw teeter-totter as a kid, you remember? And the other kid ain't trying and you like, can you at least act like you're having fun with this with me? Same speech, man. So I was on this all-girl podcast, and we were talking about sex. And they asked me a weird question. They were like, so we're all women here, right? And I don't like when girls do that all the time, when they're like, always have to agree with each other. We are, thank God, okay. But anyways. We're all women here, right? And as women, we feel insecure when we eat in public, especially on first dates. How does that make you feel? As a man, how does that make you feel? And I answer back immediately, oh yeah, that's weird, you shouldn't. And man, they started screaming at me. They were like, oh yeah, then when the fuck should we eat? And I'm like, wait, what? That's not what I meant. Is she hungry? Grab her a Snickers. Like, like what I mean is it's eating. Eating is a life thing. You shouldn't feel weird doing a life thing, especially day one. That's the end of the life. That's the end of the date thing. When you hate doing life around each other, you shouldn't feel like that. First date, and personally, I like the girl to take me to a barbecue pit. Now, this is an old Southern trick from an old Southern saying. Because listen, if you love to eat, you love to freak. I'm telling you, my nana taught me that. It's in the Bible. Psalm 69, somewhere in there. Because if you eat like D, then you gonna fuck like D. I don't want that. No, I want back seats, windows up. That's the way I like to fuck. Like on a first date, I like a girl to eat like Ludacris raps. Nasty, you know what I'm saying? And ladies, you can tell how good a guy is on the first date same way. Look at how quiet it gets. Yo, take him to the barbecue pit. I'm telling you, take him to the barbecue pit and order him a plate of wings. Not the drumsticks, the wings. Ladies, I tell you right now, he can clean a wing, he can clean a wop. That's Southern science right there. You gotta look at that done wing bones. I swear to God, that done wing plate, if there's still some meat on them bones, he ain't finding your clit. That shit is gone for days. I'm telling you right now. Thank you guys, I'm Jim Nibbs.
Chick Nippleson, guys. You guys, your next comedian is incredible. She performs all over the Front Range. Please give it up for Erin Lewis.
Hello, all right. Guys, so I'll try not to get too personal because I just hate people who overshare without asking, you know? It's rude. Anyways, it was just something I was thinking about this morning while masturbating to the thought of Kate McKinnon as Weird Barbie. Right? You too? Yeah. All right. Oh, I was reading this article the other day that said Swiss researchers claim that exposing cheese to round-the-clock music could give it more flavor, and that hip-hop might be better than Mozart. And I was like, interesting. Well, if that's the case, then I feel like Missy Elliott's track has had an influence on cheese making, especially for the bra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. But you also can't trust the Swiss. Their story has holes, right? Sorry, that was cheesy. I know. Can't stop, won't stop. Oh, okay. I moved from California to Colorado, and one of the first things I noticed was that the weather small talk is way more exciting here, okay? Talking about the weather in Southern California is like playing the guitar when you only know one chord, right? Everyone's like, beautiful day, huh? Yep. Should be a beautiful evening as well. But then I moved to Colorado, and everyone here has a minor degree in meteorology, right? Nice day, huh? For now. But I checked the radar, and there's a lower pressure system rolling in off the mountains. Thunderstorms will hit by 3:17 p.m. Okay. Yeah, but nobody warned me about the high winds here, so when I descended into DIA for the first time, my IUD damn near fell out, guys. Yeah. Another fun, unique thing about Colorado is everyone here is outdoorsy, right? Everyone. Which means it's virtually impossible to tell the difference between a hiking-loving hipster from just a plain old lumberjack lesbian, right? I just assume you are gay, unless you come out to me as straight, right? I'll be talking with a woman at a bar, and I'm like, oh my God, you have a husband? Wow. You are so brave. Was it hard coming out to your family and friends as straight? I grew up Catholic, and coming out to Catholic parents is like telling a Swiftie you're a Kanye fan, you know? They're like, oh, how dare you not follow our Lord and Savior Taylor? But not to worry, not to worry. My dad was recently diagnosed with dementia, so I'm straight again. All is well, all is well. And then I got to thinking, I'm like, you know what? I feel like dementia is the most Catholic type of disease because your brain is automatically sweeping everything under the rug, you know? No, but also, okay, so I'm not done with Catholics, okay? They still believe in conversion therapy. So terrible, right? And then I'm like, well, if we must have it, let's at least start converting the lesbians who don't watch sports, right? Like, imagine what that therapy session would look like. Like, now take this basketball. I want you to do 20 layups a day, and then journal on what happens to your lady bits when Caitlin Clark makes a three-pointer. See, you're already in Nike high tops, so we're off to a gay start. All right. But if there is one thing I need you to take from this session, it's that the term lesbian is actually an acronym that stands for ladies who enjoy softball, basketball, ice hockey, arm wrestling, and NASCAR. Memorize that shit. Ugh, guys, it's so awkward to be mistaken as a 14-year-old when you're really 36. And I thought coming out as gay was hard. Trying to convince people that this is post-puberty and actually closer to menopause has been oddly tougher. I think part of the problem is that I'm 5'3" and my ex-wife is 5'11". So when we were together, things would get real interesting when people tried to figure out our relationship to each other. Let's just say that we got mother-daughter once, and it's not a good role-playing idea. When we were done, I was like, are you proud of me? Turns out it really wasn't a good idea because now we're divorced. But now that we are divorced, I just get confused as an orphan, you know? People are like, where's your mom? And I'm like, well, so you see, that was more of a foster type situation. I'm on my own now, you know? Thriving. No, but like I was saying, I recently divorced after 5 years of marriage, and divorce is weird, okay? Because you're not just splitting your assets, you discover your entire personality through household objects, right? You know, like, I realized I am way more OCD than I thought I was when I begged and pleaded to keep the Swiffer. You know? I was like, are you really gonna take Swifty from me? After all that we mopped through together, like, you know she takes after me, right? Like, you saw how she cleaned up that coffee spill, you know? And she's like, whoa, okay, calm down, take it, you know? And then she's like, but if you could just stop cleaning the stain on my shirt, you're not allowed to touch my boob anymore. And I'm like, sorry. So I also have no boundaries when cleaning, I realized as well, you know? Like, if you spill spaghetti on your crotch, I will go after it, okay? Watch out, ladies, she's single and ready to make her mark. And then clean it up. Okay. No, but to be this clean, I also need something to really make a mess. So I also kept the vibrator. And nothing says I'm thriving through divorce like deep crevice sparkle and a tool that really knows how to shake the dust off, right? But it's the only tool that I actually know how to use. I'm not even sure how I got my lesbian card, okay? 0% handy, okay? I think I just slipped through when there was a glitch in the system, you know? Like, somebody left the U-Haul unlocked and I just crawled right in, you know? Just like, I'm here. Oh, no. But, so now I'm just tasked with rebuilding my whole life, right? With a sad little hammer and unhinged confidence. But I did have a meltdown the other day building my bed, so I asked my friend to come over to help me, and she's like, first of all, you're missing a screw. Secondly, you're gonna need a screw extractor for the one that you stripped. And I'm like, what now? Are we still talking about my bed? Because yes, I understand there's been no proper screwing going on in here for a long time, but you don't have to rub it in, okay? So yeah, I mean, then she's like, Aaron, okay, we need to take this seriously. Do you know how to use a power drill? And I'm like, I'm not sure. But does it require lube to get it going? You know? Because in my head, power drills and vibrators are interchangeable, right? Turns out they're not. Although, my vibrator did just change its name to DeWalt. So, we're halfway there, all right? I mean, what do you expect, right? I'm a foster lesbian. Nobody taught me how to build things. You know, they just handed me a hammer and said, watch where you put your fingers. Still don't know if I'm listening to that one, but you know, DeWalt and I are figuring it out, all right? All right, guys, that is it for me. Thank you so much. Give it up for your host, Andrea.
I'm a hugger. Give it up for Erin. All right, your next comedian comes all the way from Boston. Please give it up for Peter Liu.
One more time for your host, everybody. Keep it going for host. Oh, yeah. This is nice. Good to be here in Colorado, guys. Always such a diverse crowd. It's a diverse group of white people. Hell yeah. It's like 50 Shades of Beige. You guys are nice, though. You guys are very nice. You know, very different from home. It's been a whole day, and no one's told me to go fuck myself. I'm a little homesick. Yes. Even your VFWs are like nicer. than our VFWs. That's crazy. A lot of VFWs, New England, And at the end of each one, some old guy always comes up to me and is just like, I shot a dude who looked just like you. And I'm like, in the 70s or like recently? Okay, some delayed laughs, hell yeah. I perform New England a lot, guys, and sometimes it's like hard for me to relate to the crowd, but I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job, Thank you. Thank you. I feel like I'm pretty much a white guy, Like I hike, I bike, My girlfriend is Asian. Just like you, just like you. You guys are fun. Anybody here fuck? Raise your hand. Two people here fuck. Oh my God, that's crazy. All right, that's cool. Who raised their hand? What's your name? Oh, now you got scared. All right, that's fine. I fuck, not to brag. I have noticed, though, a lot of women these days are getting a little too kinky for my taste. A lot of women asking to be choked. Now, I don't like that because I'm a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy. So when I start choking someone, I start getting competitive. Like, what I'm choking you is not for you to come, it's for me to win. Like this one time, right? I was with this girl, we're having a good time. And out of nowhere, she tries to hit me with one of these. I armbarred the shit out of her. She cried, I came, And that is how I got promoted to black belt. All right, that was too much for some of you. We'll dial it back. Dial it back. This is nice. A lot of couples in the crowd. Any single people? Make some noise. Single people. Oh, wow. A lot of you. All right. It's too much energy. That could be. That's nice, man. I don't know. I've been reading up on the psychology of dating. Apparently, we tend to look for people with like similar traits to that of our parents. You guys know this? Yeah? I was like, oh, that makes sense. That explains why I keep chasing women that don't love me. It's a comedy show, people. It's fine, I'm gonna need you to turn that to a ha-ha, Thank you up top. I appreciate you right there. That person fucks, That's, I don't know. Actually, I think I tend to look for the opposite, I tend to look for women that are, kind, supportive, haven't fucked my dad. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know. Dating was interesting. I remember I was on this date once, right? And it wasn't going very well. And I could tell, because she used those exact words. Intuitive. And at the very end of the date, right, she was like, oh, hey, I'm sorry for being so negative. It's my strong Gemini energy. Now, see, I didn't know we could use make-believe to justify reality. Like, your star sign is not an excuse for your character flaws. I don't use fortune cookies to justify mine. It's like, oh, I'm sorry for being so salty all the time. It's my strong soy sauce energy. It's a sauce joke, all right. Second day was going better, right? We go back to her place, and she told me that she just got a brand new tattoo of serotonin, right? That's the happy molecule. Now, I majored in chemical engineering, and I minored in sadness. Fellow sadness people, nice. So I took a look, and I'm like, oh, that's not serotonin. That's mustard gas. That's not even a happy gas. No. I got nothing against tattoos. You know, I myself, I got a yin-yang sign, you know, because I'm 50% Asian and 50% basic. But I feel like getting like a molecule tattoo when you don't know chemistry is kind of getting like a Chinese tattoo when you don't speak Chinese, you know? Anyone got one? No? 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 Right? Because like you think it says like live, laugh, love, when really it says mustard gas. Third date, we'll go back to her place, right? And she asked me, she was like, oh, hey, so like tell me, like, what do you like? What's your favorite position? And before I could answer, she was like, oh, you're a Capricorn, you're probably into like super vanilla stuff. And I was like, oh, right, you're into astrology, you're probably super stupid. I didn't say that, I just thought in my head, you know, I'm smart enough to not cock block myself. Anymore. But yeah, she was like, tell me, what do you like? What's your favorite position? And I was like, I don't know. Inside? My favorite position is inside, you know? Any configuration where I am inside will do. I'm a simple man with simple needs. This guy gets it? Oh, yeah. But then she was like, okay, well, just so you know, I like hair pulling, choking, and cock slapping. I was like, oh, you really are Gemini. Now, to clarify, is cock slapping me slapping you with my cock? Or you slapping my cock? This is an important question, right? Can we all agree that this is an important question? Thank you. This dude like, no, it's not. Hey, either way, someone getting slapped tonight, right? But no, actually, she was like, oh, actually, neither is me slapping you with your cock. I was like, I don't think I have enough cock to make that work. It's not that I'm not well hung, it's just my face is so far away. Also, let's be real, if my cock reached my own mouth, I would not be here right now. Oh my God. All right, we'll do one last one. I'll get out of here, guys. You guys have been fun. What do you want to hear a bit about? You want to hear a bit about, I don't know, a car crash or sex toys? It's a horny front crowd, okay. All right, we'll do sex toys, why not? I was in Portland, Maine the other day, and I passed by this sex store, right? And I went in for science, right? And I saw there was this silicone mouth, and on the box it said, now featuring realistic teeth. I was like, who the hell wants a sex toy with realistic teeth? Right, like out of all the parts on a woman to make realistic, teeth would be the last one. Like my ideal woman has the face of an angel and the mouth of a meth addict. I date a lot of girls from Glendale. I don't even know what that is. They told me to say that. All right. I don't know. Have y'all noticed that they're making these sex toys too realistic in the wrong direction? You know? Like imagine if they made like a realistic pocket pussy. Right? So realistic that for 5 days of the month you can't use it. You know? And you have to get it ice cream in a heating pad. You know? Have y'all noticed this? Have y'all noticed that like male sex toys are just like female parts? But female sex toys are like super upgraded versions of male parts. Right? Y'all get these like mystical fantasy dragon cocks. These 5-in-1 Swiss Army dildos. That's not fair. Because guys, we just want you the way you are, but in plastic. Pocket pussy, just a regular pussy that fits in your pocket. But women, you're like, no, we're gonna need that turbocharged with Bluetooth and a tsunami setting. I feel like it kind of like mirrors dating preferences, you know? Because women, you're looking for a guy with like features and upgrades. But guys are just like, yeah, this one has teeth. I think you guys should get like equally realistic sex toys, you know? Dildos that go limp every now and then. Vibrators that run out of juice just before you finish. It's a good time to mention I'm available for kids' parties. You guys have been great. My name is Peter Lou. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Peter Lou. You guys ready for your next comedian? Yes. Your next comedian is incredible. He comes all the way from Chicago, my hometown. Please give it up for Niraj Srinivasan.
All right, good to be here. Good to be here. Look at all these beautiful pale faces. This is really hope this doesn't suck. We want the same things, audience. I need this to go well more than you do. Yeah, I know it's your saucy Sunday night out, but you know, I need this to go well more. Because my biggest fear is that I do a set so bad that I create a new racist. Right? Like a perfectly reasonable person that came in here leaves like, you know what? Fuck Indians. Right? Like I'd like to do the opposite of that, you know. I think that's a fair concern in this audience. I mean, this theater looks like Wes Anderson directed a mayonnaise ad, okay? Let's not make any secrets about what's going on. I just, you know, I get nervous about that kind of thing because I do stand up in a lot of small towns because I make this job way more dangerous than it needs to be. But it's helped me learn a lot. It's helped me learn it's a big responsibility being somebody's first Indian. You know, it's not such a simple thing. You know, like I go to Omaha, people are fucking shocked when they meet me. Let me tell you, you know, because they've never imagined a call center guy that sounds like he's on Friends, right? This is insane. Like, you know, their biggest fear is that I do a set so bad that I blow up the venue. You know, so just saying, better fucking laugh. Okay, here, let me dial it back in. I'll tell you the truth. I sound like this because I grew up in Boise, Idaho. That's right, a place where I once saw a man propose to his girlfriend at a Walmart. Without a ring. And she said yes. Why? I can only assume she was overwhelmed by the savings. I don't know. I don't know what woman in her right mind would have agreed to a marriage by a Coinstar machine, you know. They rolled back her judgment. That's what they did. Boise's a nice town, you know, but it has assholes just like anywhere else. Like last week, Boise was host to the 2nd annual Straight Pride Festival called, I swear to God, Hetero Awesome Fest. Which frankly sounds like the gayest way to spend even a single afternoon. Like if my buddy called me up, he's like, hey man, you wanna go check out Hetero Awesome Fest? I'd be like, stop trying to fuck me, Caleb. All right, cut it out. Like, I know that's not what they're going for, but if on any other night at any other bar, some guy walked in like, hey everyone, isn't it awesome being hetero? I'd be like, that dude's a sword swallower, all right? What? 1,000%. He keeps his blades deep in the closet. That's where he lives. I get really frustrated anytime someone does something just because they don't like seeing gay people have fun. You know, like Christians will do this. They'll be like, well, gay marriage is ruining the sanctity of Christian marriage. Yeah? Good. I think we can lose Christian marriage, all right? Because I'm not gay or Christian, but I've been to both types of weddings, and let me tell you, gay weddings are superior. It's not even close. They are more fun. It's very nice watching you read your vows in a church, but no one's offering me ketamine at a Christian wedding, okay? It's making me choose between the two. Gay every time. Choose gay. Not that it's a choice, but you know, that's where you want to end up. I like gay people, man. I used to live in Portland, Oregon. Yes, because I like drinking beer, smoking weed, and setting cop cars on fire. That's what we did. If you've never been to Portland, much like yourselves, it's a very remarkably Caucasian city. You know, Portland is so white that now that I've moved, even though I'm Indian, there's one less black person. It's Portland rules, man. They are my favorite white people, though, you know, because at least there they feel bad about it, right? Like, it's what you like to see, you know? It's a town awash with an appropriate amount of white guilt. Yeah, that's why it's the only place on earth where a strip club DJ will do a land acknowledgement. I've seen it. He'll be like, coming to stage 2 is Diamond, but before that, let's take a moment of silence, as all the stages at Casa Diablo were on Cowlitz land. And that way I feel like my boner is giving something back. You know what I mean? Like, my last erection was for our First Nations. Okay. I'm helping. But yeah, I moved to Chicago because one morning I woke up and I was like, hey, I've never been shot at. What's that about? That's where I live now. Let's see what happens this summer. No, I hope I don't die from getting shot, but if I do, I really hope that the shooter is ugly as fuck. That's what I've learned from this whole Luigi CEO saga. Is that if a hot person kills you, people won't even feel that bad that you've been shot. Like, they'll discover reasons for why you deserved it, you know? Like, you better hope your shooter doesn't have abs, bro. Like, strangers will protest your funeral, you know? That's why I think we should free Luigi. If he goes to prison, he's just gonna get more buff. He'll make the rest of us look bad with our dad bods and freedom, unfortunately. You know, it's not his fault. Crime is sexy, man. I think it's a cultural problem where if a hot person does something illegal, we all just quietly decide that maybe they should get away with it. You know, like if OJ was obese, he wouldn't have had a chance. Judge would have been like, yeah, the glove doesn't fit. Fucking look at him. You know, like it wouldn't help him out at all, dude. Crime is sexy. You know, I don't know why. Something about people breaking the law gets everyone bricked up. It's not clear what it is. I once dated a girl that had 3 DUIs. And I don't think it's like okay to drink and drive, but it definitely made her more attractive. I'm sorry. Look, I would tell my friends like, yo, she doesn't give a fuck, dude. 2 DUIs, and she still didn't learn her alphabet backwards. I think it would have practiced for the 3rd one. She doesn't care what happens to her, dude. We didn't date for long, but I realized it was time to break up when I figured out the only time we were hanging out is either when we were hooking up or I was driving her someplace. I felt less like her boyfriend and more like a chauffeur that gets paid in anal, which, you know, I think a lot of Uber drivers would make that deal, to be honest with you. I don't need a tip, but maybe you do. Okay, all right. No, that one's just for me. That one, it never lands. Every crowd has hated it. I won't stop telling it. It's a joke, very personal. I used to be an Uber driver. For a lot of years, I was an Uber driver because even if 3 generations of post-colonial Indian guys bust their ass to get college degrees, it only takes one idiot to bring the family back to pulling rickshaws. That's right. Yes, that's what an Uber is. It's a fancy air-conditioned rickshaw. Yeah, man. DUI girl was fun, but that's not someone you can bring home to your immigrant parents. You know, that's not going to be cool. I am an immigrant, which is why I feel like I have to tell you I would never eat your pets. Unless I knew for sure that the dish was prepared by someone from Haiti. That's my rule. That's my condition. Oh, I'm sorry. Have you tried Haitian food? It's delicious. And look, I've been to Springfield, Ohio. I've experienced the local cuisine. The people there should be so lucky to have some ethnic dining options in that garbage little town, all right? I was like suffering through the world's driest potatoes, and all I could think was, man, if they had some jerk kitty cat, some fried retriever with plantains, bro, I'd be all over. Anyway, I told that joke at work, and then I had to take a class. So don't fucking do that, you know. Learned a lot. It was a class on unconscious bias. If you don't know what that is, unconscious bias is when your brain makes assumptions about people without you even realizing you're doing it, which is fine if you can keep your mouth shut. You know, what's not cool is to meet someone in the break room and when they're like, hey, I'm Henry, I'm over in accounting, and you go, accounting, are you Jewish? Like, don't do that, you know, it's unconscious bias, you know. It was a good class. It was just like an internet module that we had to click through, but I didn't like the way it started, you know, because it started with this game of like racism gotcha, you know. Like this voiceover came in and it was like, we want you to imagine a nurse. Is this who you imagined? And then it cuts to like a handsome black guy. And he even had this smug look on his face like, bet you didn't imagine this. I had to be like, all right, you got me. It's not what I imagined. Unconscious bias. Then it was like, now imagine an auto mechanic. Is this who you imagined? And it was a burly Asian lesbian. And look, I'm not saying she's lesbian because she's a mechanic. I know she's lesbian because she had a tattoo of the Green Bay Packers logo on her neck. And again, I had to be like, all right, you got me. It's not what I imagined. Unconscious bias. And then it was like, now imagine a police officer. Is this who you imagined? And that's when I got mad because then they cut to a dog. And that to me felt like a cheap shot. Like, who would think it was a dog before imagining a person of any gender or ethnicity, right? Like, they might build a lot of dams, but if you told me to imagine a construction worker, I would never think of a beaver. That's insane. Like, if I was driving home tonight and I got in an accident and called the police and 2 German shepherds showed up, I'd be furious, right? Like, that's not unconscious bias. I needed people here to help. I didn't realize that day. That's why cops are so angry. You know, it's the only job where a dog could outrank you. Like, hi, I'm Officer McGillicuddy, and this is my supervisor. Lieutenant Fluffles! I did that joke in Fort Collins a couple days ago, and just like this afterwards, you know, like the laughter died down and got really quiet in the room, and I just heard a lady in the back go, he's a good boy. He probably is. All right, thank you guys.
Niraj Srinivasan. So good. You guys, you are in for a treat. Are you guys having fun? Yes, so fun. And I want you guys to make it loud for our very next person because this is the whole reason we're here. She is the founder of the Boulder Comedy Festival. She tours all over the country. Please give it up for Zoe Rogers!
What's going on, Boulder? How are we doing? Let's give it up for Dairy Arts one more time for having us. I am so psyched to be here, not only because you all are here and we have terrific comedians, but I'm also psyched to be here because I have 3 kids. So I am happy to be anywhere that is not my house. A little quick procreational math for you guys. 3, way more than 1. Like a lot. Like the parents of more than 1 kid, we tend to view the parents of only children the way the Navy SEALs look at the reserves. We appreciate what it is you do. That's cute. But we have seen shit that will change you. Things you cannot come back from. I got a chance to get off my little procreational compound recently. A friend of mine took me out for lunch, which was awesome. I had food and coffee when it was hot. Yes. I felt like Beyonce. But then I realized that the last time I had been at that restaurant was when my youngest was nursing. And at the time, when the food came to the table, she wanted to eat too. And for the record, if anyone here cares, I was very discreet. I had on my cover-up thing that I don't actually think anyone knows the name of. I just call them my mammal wraps. And that way no one has to know I do mammal shit. Like breathe air and feed my young. Just perpetuating the species. Ew, so gross. And surprisingly very sticky. But the people that were seated at the table next to us got very vocal about what was happening, and they were not happy. If they had been breastfed, they would be smarter. And that, for me, was a very quick lesson in the difference between your first kid and your third kid. Because I know if some mouthy Karen had gotten in my face like that with my oldest, it would have shamed me. But with your third kid, I wanted to jump up on the table, like that scene from Pulp Fiction, and be like, "Get on the ground, motherfuckers!" Just machine gunning my tits at people. Now it's awkward. Now it's uncomfortable. Just people slipping in milk. The fantasy goes on. Because I have not slept in a very long time. The other night, this lady in the audience shouts out at me and she goes, "Where was this?" Like, thank God for fact checkers, right, guys? And I said, "This was in Los Angeles." And she goes, "Okay." So now it's all right? There's just no place else on earth where people deserve to be sprayed with warm breast milk more than Los Angeles? That's a little harsh. Like, do you know how traumatized people in Los Angeles would be if they had to see working breasts? Come on. Like, if their faces could show emotion. They would be shocked. I grew up on the East Coast. Thank you. We both got out. No. I've lived here for 7 years, and I love it. But there are days where it feels like I need Google Translate to understand what is being said. Like the other day, a woman came up to me, and she invited me to reflect on my intentions. Did you just call me a bitch? Because that would be so much faster. My husband, he is from the Deep South. Deserved silence for that. And people love to shit on the Deep South. And I will do it with you. Ha ha! No, yeah, I will. But one thing I will say, after spending a lot of time there, because you have to do that when you marry one of them, is that I am killing it in the Deep South. Like in Boulder, Colorado, if you saw me, you would be like, that woman needs a Pilates class and a juice cleanse. But in the Deep South, I need an agent and another biscuit. My husband told me that joke was unkind. And I said, okay, you're losing this war too! And I laughed with all my teeth. So many molars. Couples counseling is imminent. But we've been married, my husband and I have been married for 20 years. Thank you. You guys are a little more excited than I am. I just feel like he's gotten a little too comfortable in our relationship. Like the other night, I tried to slink into bed, being all fecthy, in my crest white strips. Hey there, sailor. Feeling fattier than expected. And he said, there's something I've been wanting us to try, but I'm afraid you won't be open to it. And my first response was just like, well, we had a good run. But then he said, I want you to watch Battlestar Galactica with me. Why can't it just be anal? Because this is going to be so demeaning. After 20 years, we have teenagers, and they have been kind enough to let us know that we are not cool. Which is a little confusing, right? Because it's like, wait, I'm embarrassing. You're a virgin who can't drive. My teenager's favorite thing to do is point out words I don't know. So they come up to me and they're like, hey mom, do you know what Riz is? She doesn't know. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know what that is, but I do know you used to shit in the tub. And that is sus. My son, he has some attention issues, so school has always been work, you know? But this year, he got 100 on a test, which is huge. So I decided I would be fun mom. And I was like, hey dude, I heard you aced your test, that's awesome. As far as I'm concerned, you're 16, it's Friday, you could celebrate with a couple PG-13 movies. But that was such a mistake. Because he came back an hour and a half later with this really dazed look on his face, and he said, hey mom, I watched this movie called Road Trip, and there was a lot of kissing and breasts. And I just want to ask you, is that what college is like? And I was conflicted because I'm a very big feminist, and I don't think women should be exploited for anyone's gain. But I also want my kid to go to college. So I explained it, and I was like, okay, listen. Yes! That is college! But just the Ivy League. I feel like it was just a lot easier when they were younger because we had all these fun songs to get them to do what they needed to do. You know, like everyone in this room knows the cleanup song. I need this now. I need something like, if you want a girlfriend and you know it, wash your balls. All right, guys, give it up for your host. Thanks for having us.
Zoe Rogers. You guys, your next comedian is so fun. She's got an open bar special. She's got a dry bar special. She tours all over the country and on cruise ships. Please give it up for Stephanie McHugh.
That song, If You Wanna Go to College, Wash Your Balls, is going to go through my head. My whole set. It's so nice to be here at the Boulder Comedy Festival, and when I looked at the website, it said all shows are 18 and older, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to come up with material for like 18-year-olds. And no, I looked at the crowd, you guys are my people. Not a lot of 18-year-olds out there. And I'm thinking, how can I tell you how old I am without telling you how old I am? In college, I went to CSU. I'm sorry. Let's just get it out of the way right now. It's okay. We're still going to bond. And then I became a comic. I went to CSU and then became a comic. My dad's so proud of that. But all 4 years I went to college, the professor would post our exam scores on the door by our full Social Security number to protect our identity. That way nobody knew who got what score. It's just a whole bunch of numbers up there. And I do have 2 kids, 2 girls. They're in their 20s. And the oldest one just got married, and her dad and I walked her down the aisle on our 28th wedding anniversary. Thank you. Yes. We've been divorced 15 years. Touche, baby girl. But you know what? You love your kids. And we did it. We walked her down the aisle. And even when we were married, we didn't really yell at each other. We're both just kind of a little passive-aggressive about the whole thing. My nickname for him is Sugar Nuts. We don't need to go into it, but it's not a compliment. Sugar Nuts and I have another daughter, Julie. She's 23. She had her first real relationship with a guy who was 39, right? And then after a couple months, he broke it off, moved to Vegas. And Sugar Nuts got pissed off, which is how you want the dad to be. He was protective. He was mad. He's like, I am going to send him a bag of dicks. Which I didn't know you could do, but you can, okay? You can ship a dick to someone. And I'm sure to a heterosexual 39-year-old male that's a diss, but as a divorced woman in her 50s, a bag of dicks is a thoughtful gift. Did you get me a bag of dicks? Thank you. Oh my God, that's so nice. And there's no man attached? This is sweet. I love it. You put vanilla potpourri in there too. You get me. You get me. I have 2 daughters. I thought they'd be really close because I grew up with 3 younger brothers. That's a lot like being an only child. There's no talking. It just smells a lot. They didn't wear socks through junior high. I'm pretty sure we're responsible for climate change. That was pungent. But Julie and I did go visit Rachel, and the only thing they have in common is growing up together. So they had a playlist of all the songs that they listened to, that they heard growing up. And 9 Inch Nails' I Want to Fuck You Like an Animal came on. And Rachel goes, oh, that reminds me of being a little girl. So, yeah. Yeah. The three brothers. Look, they're not mean. They just don't like to communicate or talk. Like one brother got mad at me, Mike, because I sent him a text and then I liked his previous text. He's like, Stephanie, you need to calm down. God, quit being so emotional. And our mom just turned 80. And I don't want to brag, but I had a show in Kearney, Nebraska. Thank you. Thank you. One, sorry. And so I got two texts, one right after the other. The first one was from my nephew. Hey, are you okay? Grandma got a call, you're in jail. We think it's a scam. And then my brother texted me, hey, are you okay? So I texted my nephew, I'm okay. I'll call Grandma and tell her. I texted my brother, wire money. I'm in Kearney County Jail. I made $3,500 that day. And then I sent him a text, and I liked his previous text. Because that's how I am. It's nice having kids in your 20s to help you figure out stuff. I'm trying to do more on TikTok and like my profile. I love donuts. So I put a comedian, mom, life short. Sometimes I eat the donut. And Rachel goes, Mom, that means you like anal. I did not know that. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you like, that's just not what I meant on my TikTok. So I changed it to comedian, mom, I like anal, in hopes that they would know I literally like to eat a donut, but that did not work either. So I'm still fishing around for something to say right there. It's hard being a parent. Like, when they were young, I would do comedy at night, take care of the kids during the day. We're too hard on ourselves. Finally, I said, I'm just going to do the 80-20 rule. You can get so much more done when you're only doing 20%, okay? Like one night, I gave macaroni for dinner. The next night, I gave him the cheese packet. Boulder, thank you for getting that joke. I did not know if you would know what a cheese packet is, but you do. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, and you must be thinking, well, you're an empty nester now. You've got it together. Still doing 20%. Here's a good example. I had a show the other week, and I wore my jeans rolled up a little bit, so I put self-tanner on from here to here. And then I thought, oh my gosh, what if I find the love of my life tonight? And we go back to his place, and I'll be like, look, I will show you my boobs and give you a hand job. I'm just not gonna take my pants off. I don't wanna look like an idiot. So, you have to, gosh, just try and stay in shape. This year, I said, my resolution was, I am gonna lower my BMI, my body mass index, by growing half an inch. Because losing 20 pounds is so unrealistic. That's not gonna happen ever. And look, I hope you made it through the pandemic and everyone you know made it through it okay. But this is what works for me for losing weight. Every time I get COVID or get the vaccine, I get sick as a dog for 24 hours and I lose 5 to 7 pounds and I keep it off. I'm 3 COVIDs away from my ideal weight. If anyone's out there not feeling good, we're making out after the show. It's summertime. I want to look good for when I meet the love of my life. And gosh, you boobs just keep getting bigger and bigger. I prayed for big boobs when I was younger. In hindsight, I kind of wish I would have said perky, you know? Wish I would have. And again, I am grateful for my body. These girls right here fed 2 babies and got me out of 3 speeding tickets. So I'm not complaining, but wow, they weigh a lot. Oh, you guys have been fun. I'm gonna get out of here in a minute. I gotta go visit my mom and dad. They've been married 60 years. They have a ton of stuff. And I'm trying to help them just whittle it down, and it's not going well. So I went over there last time, and I go, hey, Mom, these coasters, going to Goodwill. How about I take the coasters with me? She goes, sweetie, those are oatmeal cookies from 1972. And your father's going to eat those. You guys have been a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Stephanie McHugh. You guys, we are down to our last 2 comedians of the night. Oh my gosh, it's so sad. You guys, this has been so much fun. Hasn't this been so much fun? Yeah. Yeah. Your next comedian is incredible. He has got a special on YouTube. He's going to be headlining down at Comedy Works South on July 30th. Please give it up for the amazing John Novosad.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here tonight. And I'll tell you, I travel doing this, and so what I do when I travel to different parts of the country is I'll write jokes for that specific area, and I call it Jokes I Can Only Tell Here. And so I thought it would be fun to do a Colorado version of Jokes I Can Only Tell Here. It'll all make sense in a minute here, hopefully. You guys are looking at me like, didn't we see this guy under the bridge on Broadway? That was me, man. I write these jokes in the dirt and then come in and try them out, But I'm from Boulder. I don't think that comes as a real shock either. I don't think. You guys looked at me and said, I'll bet this guy's from Castle Rock, I mean, that's a joke I can only tell here, And I'll tell you another joke I can only tell here, and I will preface it by saying I think you had to be at least 18 to get in to here tonight, 21 or whatever, but we're all adults. So I'm going to talk about some sexy stuff tonight. This is another joke I can only tell here, all right? A lot of guys have nicknames for their penis. I have a nickname for my underwear. I call it the ballerina. Yeah. It's where my Nuggets play, So, see, that is a joke I can only tell here. You get too far outside of Denver, it's not going to work. Now, I am from Boulder, and they have some weird laws in Boulder, and I'm going to talk about that. But before I talk about that, I just wanted to say, for a place like Boulder, this is not the most pedestrian-friendly town I've ever been in, man. I was on the Pearl Street Mall crossing at Pearl and Broadway, That's a busy road. But I waited till the light comes on, and I'm crossing, and cars are stopped. But then they're looking at me like, I think I can legally hit this fucking guy now. I ended up on the hood of a car, and I got off in Castle Rock. But it all worked out. I got this outfit at the outlet mall, and then just got hit by a northbound car. Made it in time. Now, see, that's a joke I could only tell here. I tried telling that joke in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they didn't get it, so I was like, all right, get out your phones. go to Google Maps and Google the distance between Boulder and Castle Rock, Colorado, and then picture me on the hood of a car for that amount of time, and I think you'll have a pretty good laugh. Now, we're still in the jokes I can only tell here portion of the show tonight, in case you were wondering. Now, like I say, I grew up here, and Boulder has the sugar tax, you know, and I get it, but there's a 2 cents per ounce on any drink that has sugar in it. And like I say, I get it, obesity is a problem. That does seem like a weird fucking place to draw a line in the sand to me, but, you know, whatever. I mean, I don't drink that much soda, but I enjoy a Coke every once in a while. And I guess what I'm saying is if I get a 12-ounce Coke and I get to the checkout and they go, it's an extra 24 cents, you know, that's not going to stop me, man. I'll throw out that quarter, say, keep that fucking penny. I don't know. Put it towards the slide in the park or something. I don't know, but I'm good to go. But here's the thing that's weird, you guys. You can buy a bag of sugar and there's no additional tax, you know? So I don't like to brag, but I've got sugar money. So I'll buy a bag of sugar, stand out in front of the grocery store. I'm like, I'll sugar up your drinks for free right here, man. Bring it over. And then I'm like, you tell me when to stop. How about that? So that's wild. And this is true, too, in Boulder. Well, you know, during the pandemic, we all had a lot of time. I Googled weird laws in Boulder, and I swear this is really a law. You cannot graze your llama on public land in Boulder, you know? And I'm not going to lie, that bummed me out, man. I had to have a heart-to-heart talk with my llama. I was like, I can't afford to feed you. You can't graze on public land anymore. You're free to go, you know? So, if you ever come across a llama in Boulder, that's Bobby, you know? Try to get him on some private land. I gotta have another sip of this beer. All right, now, well, then I guess, you know, we'll do some more jokes I can only tell here. It seems to be working pretty well, so. I'm not even a comic. I just came in to get out of the heat for a while. So, give me a beer and let me tell my stories, all right? I got some humdingers. No, this is truly a law in Boulder. And I'll preface it by saying I think, you know, it's a really nice, whatever you want to call it, feeling or idea, but you cannot own a dog in Boulder. You can only be the guardian of the dog. And I mean, like I said, that's a nice thought and everything, but that made me think back over the years to how many dogs I've owned. And I've had like 4 or 5 dogs, and they've all been good. But, you know, my point is that when one of my dogs came up to me and he was looking at me and wagging his tail and stuff, I'm pretty sure he wasn't thinking, does this guy think he owns me? Or is he my guardian? You know, I'm like, it's pretty weird, man. All right. Now we're into the section of jokes that I could tell anywhere. And so now I was talking earlier about we're all adults, and so I think we can talk about sex a little bit. And I do. I want to talk about sex. And I'll tell you, I'm well over 60. I'm not going to lie. And they say that sex changes for you when you're over 60, and it changed for me. I mean, for one thing, the prices have gone up, you know, so. And now there's talk about a tariff, so pricing me, excuse me, pricing me out of the market. Now, I want to talk about this next, and that is marriage. I was married. You know, if you're wondering, I was married for 15 years, and we've been divorced a long time, longer than that even. And they say that your sex life gets boring when you're divorced, and that's true. That's true, too. The other night, I fell asleep while I was masturbating, and, I mean, you can imagine how I felt when I woke up. On the bus, it was weird, man. The driver pulled over and said, "Hey, you're going to have to get off here." I was like, "Give me another minute, I will." I think I'm going to need a transfer. So, all right. Now, next up, I guess, you know, I do want to talk about some of the topics that are in today's times, like global warming, you guys. I believe in global warming. I don't know if you do or don't, but I believe in global warming, and I think the big problem is oil. And it's not that we need to conserve it. We need to use it all up, man. They're not going to do shit until it's gone, you know? So, knowing that, I bought a 78 Buick Electra, and I put it up on blocks, and I run it 24/7. And I'm doing it on stolen credit cards, because I'm trying to bring down Bank of America too, man. They're bringing me down with that $39 late fee, you know? I pay my bills on time. Every once in a while, I'm a little late on the old Bank of America payment. They sock me that $39. I pushed all the buttons and everything to where you could finally talk to someone. I'm talking to this customer service rep, and I go, you know, I'm no math major, but what makes you think I can pay the $39 late fee when I couldn't fucking make the minimum payment, you know? That should have been your first sign I was in trouble. You should have lowered it by $39. All right, now, I still want to talk about some topics. Let's talk about the national debt next. That's a big one, you know? And every time I hear a politician talking about the national debt, the number one thing they always say is, I don't want to see our grandchildren paying off the national debt. And I'm like, I do. You know? That is the only plan that makes sense so far, man. Let's put these kids to work. Hey, Billy, here's a new game called Sewing Machine, son. I want you to sit down here and see how many of these little flags you can make in 12 hours, and I'll tell you when you get to the next level. So, whole new scoring system. Wow, that joke was a little bit too hard for you guys. I get it. All right, well, let's try this, you know. I'll say this. I walk a lot. I don't think that comes as a shock either, you know. I mean, you should see me at a four-way stop. People are like, which way is this guy going to go, do you think? You know? And that's when I'm walking. So, but I go for a lot of walks because I travel these places. And I don't like to brag, but I was recently in Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah, and Des Moines is an old French word for shitty location. But they were nice there, you know. And this is interesting, too. Again, I don't like to brag, but I almost joined the Mile High Club on that flight to Des Moines. So, yeah, thank you. That was really exciting, you know. We made it to 2,600 feet, and I was done. But I'm thinking next time I'm going to wait until after the plane takes off to get the ball rolling, you know. We were in boarding group 5, so it's weird. Now, I want to tell this story before I go, and you know, things are going well for me. I live in a one-bedroom apartment, and I live on the second floor of a 3-story building. And I came home one night after a show, and I go into my kitchen, which surprisingly looks just like this. I have a huge kitchen with a big black curtain. But anyway, you guys are looking at me like he's melting down, man. But no, I know where we're going. So I come home and there's this leak, this dripping sound behind the wall. And so I text my landlord, and he texts me back and he goes, check all the faucets and underneath the, So I check all that, can't see the leak. He says, okay, we're going to send up a couple of maintenance guys tomorrow. So these 2 maintenance guys come up in the morning, Moses and Daryl, right? And so they come into my kitchen and they go, wow, man, you have a big ass black curtain back there. But so then but they got behind the curtain and they listen, and then they go, yeah, there's a leak behind the wall. So I'm like, wow, I want to work with you guys, Like, I find the problem, and then you're like, yep, that's what it is. I was like, I think there's more to this, isn't there? So they go upstairs then into the apartment above me, and the dripping sound stops, and they come down, and they go, hey, what you were hearing was the bathtub faucet above you dripping into the bathtub basin in the apartment above you. And I played along at first, and then I thought about it, and I'm like, there's no way that I can hear like that. Wouldn't I be hearing all kinds of other shit going on up there? And did they tell those people that I could hear like that who lived up there? And they're all freaked out. They're like, that guy has a weird eye, but he hears like a bat, So a couple of weeks go by, my landlord calls and says, hey, there's water dripping into the apartment below you. I go, that's weird. Do you think it had anything to do with that leaking sound I reported way back when? So now what they do is they send up Daryl, and the guy who owns the apartment below me is George. And Moses left this joke, I don't know. He was like, I'm out. But Daryl puts on the bathtub, he's talking to George, any leaks? Nope, no leaks. Then he puts on the shower, and I go, hey, I'm no plumber, but I'd be willing to bet $100 if the bathtub's not leaking. The shower's gonna be good too, So I want $100 from Daryl. So they do all these tests, they can't figure it out. Then George, Daryl, and I are standing in my bathroom. George looks at me and says, John, do you take a lot of baths? I'm like, where are you going with this, man? His theory was I was taking baths and filling it up so much that it was going through the overflow valve. And the reason I bring this long story up is this, you guys. When I walked out here, I'm sure you made a judgment about me. I get it. I make judgments about people all the time. But I'd be willing to bet that $100 that I won from Daryl that not one person in this audience tonight, when they saw me, said to themselves, I'll bet that guy takes a lot of baths. Thank you all so much. Enjoy my friend Janae Burris. Thank you.
John Novosad! Oh my goodness, you guys, your next comedian is super incredible. She is hosting Film on the Rocks. If you haven't been to it, you've got to go to it. It's just so much fun down at Red Rocks. She travels all over the country, touring around. Please give it up for Janae Burris!
Thanks so much. Y'all have been a great audience. I've been listening. Would you mind one more time for all the comics you've seen tonight? Oh my gosh. Well done, Boulder Comedy Fest. Well done. I love it. Last time I was in Boulder, it wasn't nearly as diverse, Come on. So we brought the diversity, There's been several times I've been in Boulder and I've been the only one in the room carrying lotion. The only one. So it's a lot of pressure to be that guy. Everybody knows I'm that guy. But thanks for coming out and supporting live comedy. I've been traveling quite a bit, as Andrea said, traveling for stand-up comedy. And do y'all get out? Y'all go to DIA a lot? Y'all use DIA? Or y'all flying out of, where do you fly out of? DIA. Yeah, okay, okay. I just want to let you know that we're in an abusive relationship with our airport, right? Everybody knows that. It's not right. We're being mistreated. It is not like this all over the country. I've been traveling, and I've seen it. We could be in a better situation. It's not fair at all. Yeah, I'm at DIA, and last time I arrived home, I got dropped off in Concourse B Annex. Annex? There's an annex? What is this, a charter school? There's another building? I gotta take a bus across the tarmac? I'm closer to home than I am to baggage claim. What am I should just hop over the 25 and go home right now. I parked in the economy lot. My car's right there. It's an awful place to be. I see people running at DIA. You're not from here, are you? You're not from here. You think you're gonna run your first 10-minute mile ever today? No, not at this altitude. No, and not in flip-flops. It's 7:30 in the morning. Get a bagel, get some coffee. It's gonna be a while, hun. Because guess what? You're done with TSA, we got a train to catch. You ain't nowhere near your gate, baby. I'll be right behind you as soon as I'm done getting karate chopped in the vagina by TSA. What are they even looking for? I get pulled out of that line 75% of the time. My friend kept saying it's racist, and I was like, I know. I don't know. They keep pulling me out. And the last time I was there, the lady, she was like giving me these instructions. I'm going to run the back of my hand up your thigh. And she never said, and then karate chop you in the vagina. She never said that part. But that is what she did 4 times in a row because I counted. She kept doing it, and every time she did it, I screamed, "You karate chop me in my vagina!" And then she got pissed, and she started over. And it took me about 4 times to realize I was not in charge of this situation. I was like, all right, shut up and take it. Thank you, sir. May I have another? She's like, would you like to go in another room and do this? No, you can molest me in front of everyone. Please, what are you looking for, ma'am? What do you think's in there? It's not going to come out with a karate chop. I held a baby in there until the doctors reached in and pulled him out. All you're going to get is a very moist panty liner. So please, move on. Did I overshare? Sorry. I am a parent. Do we have other parents here tonight? Other parents making it? Okay, cool. Cool. I heard Andrea bragging about having older kids. I am the 45-year-old mother to a 3-year-old right now. Thank you. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. It's hard. Oh, my God. I had no idea. I wasn't trying to become a mom. I was just living my best 40-something life in this world, you know, doing things that grown people do. And then I fucked up. All right. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes we play a little fast and loose, and then we have a baby. And that's how it happens for some of us. I love him. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. I fell face first into the best thing ever. But it is a hard job. I had no idea. Being a mom's the hardest thing I've ever done. I've had many jobs. Being a mom's very hard. Well, not as hard as getting up to put a condom on, though, because that's just out of reach. That's way over there. You know what? Why don't we just start a family together? What do you say? Wait, what's your last name? It's not so romantic for everybody, okay, kids? It happens. But I love this little dude. I just feel like too old to be chasing a 3-year-old. My knees pop. They pop a lot. My bones, they pop when I stand. They pop when I sit. They pop when I'm just standing there thinking about stuff. They go off like rogue firecrackers. Just pop, pop. All the time. He loves playing hide and seek right now. That's his favorite thing to do. But every time I try to play, my knees just rat me out immediately. Crack, pop, pop. It's like, you're right there. I heard you. That wasn't me. That was gunshots. Get down. And I have been asked to my face on more than one occasion, are you the mom or the grandmother? Yes, people are rude, aren't they? You think it, you don't say it. I have thought it too, but you don't say it. Also, I take some responsibility. I was like, you know what? I gotta stop wearing muumuus to this Walmart because they're very judgy here. And they think I'm one of them. Also, my little dude, he's 3 and he's wild. He's a very feral little dude. Very, very fast, very sticky looking kid. And people just don't understand our relationship because they don't see me jumping in. People are always talking about, he went that way. I know, I'm coming. God, he's fast. He gives off like Lord of the Flies vibes. That's just how he came out. It's just how he came. His dad is from Florida, so he's half Florida, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know. He can walk barefoot over rocks. I've seen him do it, and he didn't get that from my side. But he's a rock sucking, dirt eating, handrail licking type of 3-year-old. That kind of kid. People are always telling me he's all boy. I don't know what all boy means. I know he loves the flavor of rocks. Is that what you mean? Is that what all boy means? He loves rocks. He asked me for a rock in the parking lot. We were leaving Munster trucks, and there's rocks. Before I could say no to the rock, he picked it up, put it in his mouth, and he was just rolling it around, enjoying it, like he was a rock sommelier. Just, earthy. Notes of rubber and soil. He was loving it. He was having a good. I let him keep it. I'm not gonna take it from you. You sucked all the flavor off of it. That's yours now. Keep it. But people see that and they're like, no way, that's the mom letting him eat rocks. The mom wouldn't let him lick every seat on this flight. That's not the mom. The mom would do something about it. And I hear the judgment. I lean into that energy. Yes, I am the grandmother, actually. I am the grandmother, and I am shocked by my grandson's behavior. I can't believe my grandson's acting like this. Who raised him? Seems like his mom could really use some help. I'm just the grandma. I'm just here to buy candy and watch cartoons. I'm the grandmother. I don't know how to be a regular mom. I spent so long not having a kid. I'm just doing my best. I'm shocked all the time. I'm shocked every day that I'm trying to potty train him right now. Potty train? I wet the bed until I was 9. I don't know what I'm doing. And I still can't tie my shoes properly. Please. I'm not cut out for this. It's so difficult. I don't recommend it. Okay, there, I said it. I don't recommend having kids. Young people, a lot of folks ain't gonna tell you that. They're not gonna be real with you. I'll tell you. You don't need to have kids. Don't do it, all right? Don't do it. It's too hard. You're not built for this. It's too hard. You just stay happy, or whatever it is you're doing with your free time. You stay happy. But if you insist, you're like, of course I want to have kids. It's my dream to have kids, Janae. I'm dumb. Okay. Okay, if you insist. If you're going to have kids, I highly recommend being a dad. Because that shit looks like fun. That I could do in my sleep. Just like his dad. I picked wrong. I'm recently single, actually. Me and Dad tried to make it work, tried to raise a kid together, but, you know, it's hard to raise a kid with another kid, am I right? So now I'm single, and it's not fun. My aunt immediately was like, hey, don't wait too long to get back out there. Get back out there. I was like, out there? I'm not going out there. Have you seen out there? The last time I was out there, I got pregnant. I'm not going back out there, okay? I don't want to do this. I did get weak and download one dating app, okay? It was called Stir. It's for single parents. Anybody heard of? Nope. I'm on the dark web. I knew it. I knew it. It did feel suspicious. All the profile pictures, everybody's wearing sunglasses. So I don't know where I've landed. I think they're trying to steal my credit card number. Maybe I shouldn't be on this. But I am also thinking about putting an ad on LinkedIn. I think that's a good idea for a stepdad. I'm looking for a stepdad. I want to just get right to it. Looking for a stepdad with some ambition, okay? I think every kid deserves at least 4 parents. This is too hard to do on your own. I'm looking for a stepdad on LinkedIn. I'm offering one of those H-1B1 visas. Yo, you trying to stay? I'm trying to help. Hey. Do it before they take it away, man. I'm trying to get one of these Indian tech bros. What's up? But my kid, he deserves it. I'd also take a lavender marriage. I don't know where my gays are at, but don't be so uptight, boys. Come on. You don't know what you like just yet, boys. I'll take a lavender marriage. I just went to go to my friend's housewarming party for he and his husband. And it was a beautiful home, the type of home only 2 men could afford together. And I was like, I want in. I want in on this. One of y'all got to marry me. I want in. Getting desperate for some parental help. My kid is lovely, though. Let me watch my time. I didn't tell anybody to watch the time for me. I was supposed to check a clock when I got out here, and I didn't even check it. I can't do math in the middle of my set anyway. I'm not built for that. But I'm also not ready to start dating because I don't want to hold my farts anymore. I think I'm too old to start holding farts again. I was a shy tutor growing up my whole life. My mom never heard me pass gas until I was 16 years old, and she was shocked to hear it. I was like, yeah, I've been holding it for years, Mom, and now that I'm an adult, a grown woman, I can't be holding my farts anymore. And that's the type of stuff you got to do when you start dating again. I can't go back. That'd be like going back to before we could vote, ladies. I'm not going to do it. This is what real power is, ladies. Ripping farts without regard. Freely, loudly, ferociously at times. I'm not going back to holding farts for these men. No way. You can take my vote first. The pickings are slim. I don't need it anymore. Which I do want to acknowledge. I appreciate y'all for coming out, supporting this diverse audience. It's got a black lady on stage. You've been very kind. And, I know you didn't want to vote for a black lady to be president. But, hey, one doing comedy, that'll do. You're like, not me. Good. All right. We can talk about it later. I'm looking for allies. It's so funny when people are like, no, not me. I'm an ally. I'm like, for real? You're an ally? Okay, look to your left, look to your right. One of these people voted for Trump. Punch him in the face. I dare you. You're a real ally. Let's start fighting people. No. I won't. I'm just being a mom, and I'm on my medication now. I'm real chill. My world has gotten very small, so it doesn't really matter what's going on in the world. I just smile through it because that's what the Zoloft makes me do. So I'm really lucky for that. I checking my time. I don't want to go over because you've been so lovely. I'm enjoying this part of motherhood. He's really fun, and everybody reminds me constantly, like no matter how hard I'm sweating, they're like, these are the best times. Enjoy yourself. These are the best times. These are the best times. Enjoy yourself. I'm like, these are the best times when he's ripping off his diaper and pissing all over the house. These are the best times. God, I'm tired. I'm scared. But apparently the teenagers are the worst. And as a former teenager, I can attest, I really sucked. So if it's anything like that, I'm nervous. But I have a friend. He makes great money, and his daughter just got caught shoplifting makeup. She's 14. No need to do that. I have another girlfriend. She found out that her 17-year-old son is bisexual. And I'm like, I'm not ready to talk about sex with my little dude, right? But, it was a big deal for her, and I had to give her some comfort. I'm like, it's very cool that you have that type of relationship with your son, that he'd be willing to share information about himself, about his sexuality with you. That's a beautiful thing that he can share that with his mom. She's like, he did not tell me he was bisexual. I checked his internet search history. Tits and dicks and tits and dicks. Everything. A little bit of everything up in there. Oh, Oh my goodness, okay. I said, well, you can't go by that. You can't go by his internet search history. According to my internet search history, I'm a big nasty bear who likes to watch his twink husband get fucked by the neighbors. But, I mean, in real life, I'm someone's mother. All right, I'm Janae Burge. You've been very cool. Thanks for coming out. I'll see y'all around.
Janae Burris! You guys have been amazing. Let's give it up for all the comedians you've seen tonight. You guys have been so great. This concludes the last show of the Boulder Comedy Festival. Please come back next year. This is amazing. Thank you guys so much. Give it up for yourselves. Woo!